By the time I'm filming this video, 3 days ago Primitive Skateboards released a full-length video Define, and I kinda wanna talk a bit about that today. Now first of all, the level of skating in this video is of course very high. Primitive nowadays kinda seem like what Plan B kinda used to feel like to me. Like the best of the best team. But very quickly on, I just want to give them props for actually making a full-length video. I think doing that in 2022 is incredible. I love that. I'm still a sucker for full-length videos. And they're just kind of rare nowadays, so they are gonna get some passes on some of the critiques I have for this video. One of them is that this video has a lot of double angles. If we just start with the first part of the video, Paul Rodriguez. Don't get me wrong, I love Paul Rodriguez, and whatever footage I can get of this legend, like, fine by me, but that switch backside Smith, backside flip out, I kinda don't think it needed a double angle, but he gets the legend pass. But I think most of the double angles can be defended, because let's just check out an example from Franky Villani here. We get this kind of beautiful angle in the beginning, and then you kind of question what the spot's really like, and then you get a confirmation of how gnarly it is on the second angle, which I can approve of. And another example I have of that is in Carlos Ribeiro's part. From the first angle, it was kind of hard to see if he like had a gap where he could do the big flip out of the blunt easily, but the second angle definitely proved that he had to pop out of that and had a big drop at the end. So that's the times when I think double angles are more than okay actually. I just think you gotta be really careful not to like overdo it, because then you're not gonna have much replayability. But P-Rod is still skating hard even for his age, and I just love to see it, so a great way to start the video out. First part, we got none other than Wade Desarmo, and yeah, I really love this part. Definitely think he deserved first part in this video. He has a lot of tricks at that really like weird spot where you have to ollie up like the curved ledge and then go over the rail, and I just really appreciate that, because I think a lot of pros have talked about how hard that spot is to actually skate. We recently saw TJ Rogers nollie flip it, but this was just nice to see. Also, the song choice for this part in particular I think was really great. It just screams Wade Desarmo. And the rest of the video I think was pretty damn good as well. I also really wanna like say how much I appreciate the epic roll up on the switch flip front feeble shot. It's just so awesome to see that he still has that trick. And also that ender, I don't know if I've ever like seen that before. Might have seen it like being tinked around on a low flat ledge, but taking it to that spot, which I also haven't seen in a while. I think that was just, god damn, that blew me away. Next up we got Tiago Lemos, who just, you know, does his Tiago thing. Nollie no slide up the Barcelona out ledge was just really something that stood out to me, because I've skated there a few times and I don't get how, I think Flo has done backside nose grind and Danish Oscar Grønbæk has done frontside nose grind, I believe. And then he did a nollie no slide, just really, I can't comprehend that. Also, switch big spin back tail on the pyramid out ledge. God damn. And then ending off his part with an unreal switch back tail. But what I appreciate most about this clip is the switch flip he does afterwards, kinda almost landing on that other skateboard there. Just, that was so cool to see. Next up we got JB Gillet's part, and it starts out with this very nostalgic, yeah, just old school clips of him skating. He's just such a legend, and I really appreciate that he's actually given a slot on Primitive Skateboards. After Cliché, I didn't really know if he was gonna like get another sponsor, but to get on like the biggest current skateboard brand, that's saying something. It didn't really seem like the footage was filmed for this video because it's 4x3, but I kind of prefer that, so I can't complain about that. It had a kind of tragic twist to the part where he gets injured and he talks about that, but very uplifting in the way that, you know, it seems like he's supported on Primitive. I like that. Next up we got Silvas, who I completely kind of forgot about. Don't think I've seen anything from him in a while. But he has some really sick clips. He nollie flips the triple set that Ant Reynolds recently varial heel flipped. The way he skates is a little... yeah, it's not really my normal type of style, but I can appreciate it. But it just feels like an athlete who skates. But you know what? I'm not here to hate. He does some really gnarly stuff, especially the switch heel into this bank. But I just kind of get this athlete vibe. And I guess, you know, my inner skate brain is kind of like, oh man. But I'm sure he's a skate rat. And this nollie front blunt, I've always appreciated this trick ever since Tommy Sandoval's LRG part, and he just did it so beautifully. I love the look of it on the fisheye. A bit much B-roll on the last trick there, but I think that's the overall theme of the video, so it kind of ties all the parts in together. Might be a bit too much for me personally, but once again, I think that's a very subjective opinion. Before we go on to Mr. Incredible's welcome part. Yeah, I forgot about the frontside flip as well. God damn, Tommy. But yeah, this is the one I'm talking about. Holy... Dude, Tommy's a madman. But back to the Primitive video. I think a week ago on this channel I reviewed Dylan Jaeb's new high part on Thrasher magazine, and now it's confirmed that he's going to Primitive. Not something I saw coming in that video since we had so many mystery boards, but still he just seemed to have been kind of part of maybe 1 or 2 trips for the video, so a shorter part, but we gotta appreciate this switch flip that I am finding right here. Also, he's just so damn good. Like, I could watch Dylan for days. And look at this angle. Oh my god. Is this the ender? Back tail, big heel out, or barrel heel out, whatever you want to call it. He just does it so good. He even catches it pretty high up. Yeah, dude, he is not flopping his board around when he skates. Everything is done with so much power. And just good style, man. Good choice for Primitive, bringing Dylan on. And then we have Robert Neal, who, I mean, this dude's legs are... I don't even know what to say, man. Was that the one Yuto did the other way? I think that's really awesome. And then I just love the look of this gap. Also, huge nollie heel. Does the Kevin Romar here. And then the ender, I think the switch barrel heel here, also topping it off with another huge gap trick. I love to see it. I think this is the montage of the video, which was also really good. Damn, in the rain, I didn't even notice that. Got a heel flip from Jen, would have liked a few more tricks from her. Another heel flip. David Jacinda, I hadn't heard of this dude. But pretty solid style. Ooh. That's the kind of B-roll I like. Tiago just like helping Marina out with a kickflip. Marcus Shaw. A lot of people I hadn't really heard about, but that trick was cool. I haven't heard about this dude either, Patrick. Ending off the part though, we have Charlie Munro, who has one of my favorite styles in Primitive right now. Both clothing wise, but also just his skating. Dude, that ender. Fake flip. I don't have a lot to say about Marek Zaprazny's part. I've always been a fan of that dude. I think ever since Andy Shrug actually gave him a shout out. I think they both rode for Orion trucks. And Andy Shrug featured him doing the nollie big spin down the 15th there in China. And ever since then I was just a fan, but he just did his thing. If you know Marek Zaprazny, you know what it is. Tech ledge skating. I had a friend hate really bad on the last trick, so let's just play that. Frontside shove it, backside nose grind, crook. I think if you say nose grind is more acceptable, that it was I think Dale Decker calls it a snowplow, where you just like take that nose down. Even though that should only be acceptable on a crook, but he wasn't pinched, so my friend had a real problem with that, just thinking like that was cheating. I really don't mind that when people are going the distance. I think that makes it okay. It maybe looks a little less good. But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm kind of torn. Maybe my friend was right about something, but I love Marek Zaprazny. And I'm just trying to think about parts where maybe I wasn't the biggest fan of it. T-pods in True, he did the switch crooked grind, which kind of gets up on the full truck and not the cleanest rollaway, so I always kind of didn't like that clip, but now that I've gotten older, man, I appreciate it. But yeah, I'd really love to know what you guys think about that. What do you think about the snowplow on long nose grinds? But after that, we have the person I always mispronounce is Kyonosuke. I shouldn't even try at this point, but just style for days. I actually didn't think about his style when I said that the other guys had my favorite styles. Charlie and Dylan. He's just so easy to recognize, you know. I feel like I could see from the silhouette very quickly that this is Kyonosuke skating. I don't know what it is, but he just stands out to me. I also love the trick selection here. Nollie backside flip to half cap flip. And his ender is just like a really cool spot. I would love to go there and do some 5-0 trick on that. They went on some really cool trips for this video. Next up we got Trent McClung, who, you know, not to hate or anything, but he's always been my least favorite of the McClung brothers. But goddamn, you gotta respect his part. I always thought that Taylor McClung had the best style of the three. Trevor McClung had an okay style but could go really big. And then we kinda had Trent, the tech dude who looked kinda weird in the Bones video. But I do think his style has gone better and the trick selection is incredible on some of these things. But this inward heel flip is one of the clips I just don't really like the way he does it. I'm sorry. The same thing for this nollie heel. There's something about it, but then, you know, he makes up for it with these kind of lines here. I think he does a... oh man, what is it? A big spin front nose, big spin out. And that was just so beautifully done, like instant forgiveness for the clips I didn't like. But again, it's subjective. It's just what I think. He does a trick on the blue hopper, which I hated as a kid, but I love how he made it look, and I love that trick nowadays. And this is his ender, which normally I would have a really big pet peeve with, the way he angles his foot on that. But I actually think it looked kind of steezy. And then going the front nose to a nose blunt there. That was insane. He's starting to win me over. He might rise up in the ranks of the McClung brothers, in my opinion. Next up, we got the part that seems to be the generally most liked because YouTube says it has the most replays. It is none other than Brian Peacock. I'll admit I was a bit bored with this part. I feel like it's the same Brian Peacock that we've seen time and time again. Not much new. Except for this one trick in there that really like blew me away watching that. I think it's in this line. The nollie front heel. 5-180 out. That was insane. But I don't think he brought that much new to the part. I felt like this was just taking his tricks he's done in previous parts into like new places and with some new clothing. This switch big flip, I feel like that would be pretty easy for him, but I mean still sick clip. This one, the nose manny nollie 360 flip out, I feel like I've seen him do that a lot. Maybe it's just because it's in the same trick realm that he's always been working in, I don't know. It was a solid part, but it didn't stand out to me in any way. But if it's the most popular one by the YouTube standard with most replays, hope I don't get cancelled for saying that. Next up we got Spencer Hamilton, who starts his part out pretty insane. But then he follows it up with a clip that is first of all a double angle, but I don't really feel like deserved a double angle. It was a sick trick, don't get me wrong, but I just don't feel like the second angle added anything to it. This like alley-oop big flip over the rail. That was insane though. Can't hate on that. I've already forgotten his ender. Was it the backside flip over the pyramid thing? I love the hair. Spencer kills it with that. After Spencer's part, we got Tre Williams. I always really liked his skating. Feels so effortless, but he could still go super big. And he's tech as well. And he skates rails. He got a little bit of everything. But what I liked the most about his part was his ender. Starting it out with the little tray flip. And then we got another alley-oop big spin type-ish trick here. Or not big spin type-ish. It is a big spin. But that is just... that is so scary, man. Pedro's part was pretty cool. I'm not always down with the shorts and then you can see the socks footage. But yeah, he can pull it off. Oh, that was so insane. I'd really love to go to the spot where he did the backsmith just in order to see how crazy it is to do that. But he had a pretty good part, and after that we got Franky Villani. So creative. I already talked a bit about him in the beginning, but just, you know, a classic Franky Villani part. There's not really much I can hate on here. He has a few tic-tacs here and there, but he has the style where like I'm gonna let that go. I don't know if I'm a big fan of the same angle replay though. I don't think that's the only time in the video this happened, but the slow motion hard flip and then the same angle hard flip and regular speed. But this clip, switch heel, late front shove. Oh man, it is so sick. Also the way he saved it and he didn't hand touch, but he tic-tacked and manualed a bit. It was so beautiful. At the end of his part, I think he has 3 tricks on this really weird bank gap spot. And the last trick is, I don't even know what to say. I can't even imagine doing that. That was so insane. Probably one of the best tricks in the video in my opinion. But after that we have missed the last part, and that is Carlos Ribeiro. Ribeiro? I don't know how to pronounce it. I've always thought his style was on the more boring side because everything just seems so perfect and yeah, just flawless and not very hard for him, but I think he got that out of the way a little bit for this video, where you can see on some of the landings, he landing not on the bolts, maybe lands and kind of has to hold on a little bit. I really like that for his style. I don't know if that's just me or if it's like always been like that and I've just been a hater, but I felt like I could relate to him a little bit more in this video and it just made the part more enjoyable. Also, I like how he goes kind of casual gnar with some of his tricks. Casual gnar, that's a weird thing to say, but this fakey ollie, like fakey nose grind on handrail, that was insane. I feel like we've seen harder tricks at that spot, but it was just so well made. I really want to see the flip out there. God damn, man, catching it above the ledge. And it had a little bit personal style to it, the way he rode away, so I'm all for that. This switch front board slide is also a pretty good example of what I called casual gnar a second ago, but this is actually so gnarly. Oh my god. Now if we just fast forward to the ender, I think that was really interesting to see because I was in a message board talking about Divine Calloway and where he went after Primitive, and a lot of people thought that he didn't even deserve to be on the team because people like Carlos at demos could just like switch back nose blunt hoppers for fun, and Divine Calloway really didn't have anything to do there, they felt like. Now I always enjoyed Divine for his style and, you know, cool trick selection, but someone mentioned that Carlos couldn't be taken serious because he thought the only switchback nose blunt he'd seen in the streets was Jack Curtin. Now first of all, I can also mention, I think P-Rod actually did it on a handrail. I don't know if they meant a street hopper, then it might be Jack Curtin. damn, that was sick, man. I think I have seen a switch flip back nose grind, but maybe not a switch flip crook. Still pretty insane, but referring back to what I was talking about a second ago, I was really hyped to see this right here. And I kind of feel like this had to be it, right? The switchback nose blunt. Holy shit, man. And yeah, that was the video. The credits had some heartwarming moments here and there, but a lot of like slow-mo epicness, which can be a bit boring in the end. I mean, at least for replayability. Heath Brinkley, man. Wasn't he a P-Rod's like personal filmer back in the day? But overall, I think this video was a really good full length. I've seen it 2 times now, and I don't think I'm gonna rewatch it anytime soon. But for me personally though, I do feel like a lot of double angles is gonna maybe not make me watch it more than 1 or 2 times. Also, you know, I'm a grown up, I have stuff to do. But maybe I have other full length videos I'd much rather wanna watch because there's not a lot of repetition, even though, you know, I kind of feel like they nailed what they were going for with this video. Every skater in it like did super well. What do I want to see for the next one they make? A longer Paul Rodriguez part maybe? As well as Dylan J, but he's just got on the team, so I think that's fair. And then just, you know, for the skaters to keep doing what they're doing. Franky, keep being Franky. And then, yeah, I don't really want to score this or anything. This was just like a ramble thought video going straight out. I'd really love to know what you guys think, so leave it in the comment section. Otherwise, I'll just see you in the next video. Until then, have it good and peace out.